Potent Pondering, I'm back with another video. Yo, I hope y'all all doing well. It's Sunday. I got a few little topics I want to go over. Please come in, thumbs up the video. I don't care, like, just thumbs up the video. That's how you support it, trigger the algorithm. I really appreciate everybody who watches this type of content from me. So listen, we got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about Trump threatening the tariffs and the sanctions to Colombia. You know, they trying to act like they wasn't going to take the deportation flights, but then he responded back. Also, I want to talk about what's going on, what happened on Friday in New Jersey. You know, they had Ice Baby out there all crazy, and they all shooken up and trying to figure out how they gonna, you know, enact some sort of immigrant act where they get protected. Listen, it's just confusion to me. It's confusing to me. And then I also want to talk about Chicago. So listen, first thing first, let's address this thing going on with Colombia. So Colombia, Trump's threatened Colombia. The president, what's his name, Gustavo, something like that. So Gustavo said that Gustavo was rejecting the military flights that Trump was sending people, you know, ICE was sending people back to Colombia, the illegal aliens, right? So he's saying that he doesn't feel as though that migrants should be treated as criminals. So, you know, so it's okay for your people, again, to treat America like a dumping zone and come over here illegally. I don't understand. So Trump threatened them and said, listen, we're going to hit you with 25% tariffs on all of your goods and coming to the United States. You know, we get things like coffee, different fruits. We get, oil as well, I believe, that we get from Colombia. Some other things like gems and pearls and things like that we get from Colombia, right? So he said it's going to be 25%, and then after the next week it's going to be 50%, because, you know, they mean business. Listen, one thing I could tell you, and, you know, people in my comments talking about, oh, you know, you Trump. Listen, I identify with policy. That's what it is. And you would be surprised that they did a poll and they said that 65% of Americans, probably more than that, are in favor of mass deportations. I don't want nobody's life to be shaked up or anything like that, but listen, you got to get it the right way. Again, can't stress enough that we can't go nowhere else and set up shop the way that they think that they could just come here legally. And you know what? Even though that right now they're focusing on the criminals and all the criminals, and they're not focusing on deporting everyone, I hope that, you know, with putting the 1,500 troops at the borders and securing our borders, I hope that it eliminates, like, you know, the issue that you know is going on. So with illegal immigrants. So listen, so Trump threatened with the 25 to 50% tariffs. He also said that he was going to sanction any of the visas of the people traveling over to the United States. So Gustavo, he came back and threatened that he would do the tariffs to 25, you know, tit for tat, 25 to 50%. So now, just a few moments ago, the White House issued a statement, and they said that the government of Colombia has agreed to President Trump's terms, including unrestricted acceptance of all illegal aliens from Colombia returned from the United States. How are we getting Colombia to get on board, and we can't even get Brandon Johnson out there and JD Pritzker, little stuffed potato ass? We can't even get them out there to get on board. And the what's his name, Ross Baraka from New Jersey, we can't get them on board to understand, like, why it's important to get these illegals, especially the violent ones, to get them out of the country. But you got Colombia conforming. But listen, Trump said he ain't playing the game. Listen to what he said. So he said, you know, they said that they're going to be in agreement to accept these flights coming from the United States using the U.S. military aircraft without limitation or delay. He said, based on this agreement, the fully drafted IEEPA on tariffs and sanctions will be in the reserve and not signed unless Colombia fails to honor the agreement. Right? The visa sanctions issued by the State Department and the enhanced inspections from Customs and Border Protection will remain in effect until the first plane load of Colombian deportees is successfully returned. So yeah, we mean big business. Trump like, yeah, until the first plane of Colombian deportees. See, this is why I'm saying, like, yo, I seen this TikTok, and it was like, I seen it on Twitter, and once it went away, I couldn't find it no more. But it was this black girl talking about, like, you know, how other blacks come at her for identifying, understanding certain things that, you know, different policies from Trump. And it's like, y'all will write a whole person off talking about these races, these this, these that. And it's like, you won't hear anything else. Listen, my message, unfortunately, people are going to watch this video. If the message is not for them, they're going to complain in the comments. But my message is for the people who are progressive in thought and trying to move forward. Like, I'm not trying to stay stuck and be depressed for 4 years. Identify with what you can identify with. Speak against what you are against, and let it roll like that. Like, I'm not about to be held back. But anyway, first thing first, let's go over to New Jersey. I want you to get into what happened on Friday. Got the mayor of New Jersey, I'm sorry, it's the mayor of Newark. Is that Ras Baraka is? They went crazy. ICE was out there over at some seafood market. Listen, let's watch this.
The Trump administration promised mass deportations, and while we haven't seen that yet, we are seeing a larger crackdown on illegal immigration, including a raid at the Ocean Seafood Depot in Newark. That's where several people were taken into custody. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She is live outside that fish market with more. Briella, good morning.
Good morning, Deshani. A lot of people wondering what exactly happened here, and Mayor Ras Baraka plans to update the public later this morning. Immigration advocates and local elected officials will be among those in attendance. Baraka said this was a warrantless raid that violated the Fourth Amendment. Immigration advocates in Newark allege that federal agents descended on Ocean Seafood Depot here on Adams Street at around 11:30 yesterday morning without a warrant and demanded to see workers' documents. Officials initially rounded up a total of 8 people, 4 women, all of whom were mothers, and 4 men. According to Rafael Chavez with New Labor, a New Jersey-based organization that represents immigrant workers, all 4 women showed their IDs. He says ICE agents took their fingerprints and gave them slips to appear in court next month. 3 of the men allegedly had no documentation and were detained. The 4th was an American citizen and released. Chavez giving us his account of what happened.
7 members of ICE come out, and I see they went to different cars and just look like a regular cars. We need to educate also the managers or the owners of the small business how can defend their workers in the workplace.
Mayor Ras Baraka put out a statement in response to the raid, saying U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents raided a local establishment in the city of Newark, detaining undocumented residents as well as citizens without producing a warrant. One of the detainees is a U.S. military veteran who suffered the indignity of having the legitimacy of his military documentation questioned. When it comes to the promise of mass deportations, President Trump says he'll focus on violent criminals first, like sex offenders, gang members, and drug cartels. But Border Czar Tom Homan stressed that anyone living here illegally could very well get a visit from federal agents. ICE released an update yesterday saying that so far the Trump administration has arrested 538 illegal migrants and issued 373 detainers. Raids were reportedly carried out in several states, including Denver, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Seattle, and Miami. One dramatic scene played out in Boston, where federal agents took several wanted people into custody, including an MS-13 gang member. Now, there's no word yet from officials as to why these people here in Newark were detained. Again, we're hoping to learn more details later this morning. It has outraged the community here in Newark, and New Jersey Senators Cory Booker and Andy Kim released a joint statement denouncing the raid and saying that there should be solutions, not fear tactics. For now, we're live here, though, in Newark, New Jersey. Deshani, back to you.
Briella, thank you.
Listen, my comments on this is, and if you know anything about New Jersey, this ain't no shade or nothing funny to my people from New Jersey. Newark, I got family from Newark. Essex County is one of the worst counties in New Jersey. Y'all already got enough crime going on within the city. Then you take this situation with the illegal aliens. They in there causing all types of issues as well. Crime is, through the roof. And the thing about it, like, I had to really think about this, right? Shout out to anybody who's like, I'm an 80s baby, gonna be 42 this year, and I had to do some researching on the internet about like New Jersey. I remember back in 2007, look this story up. I'm gonna be very, minimal with the details I give or spell things out. So back in 2007, it was these young kids who were these young black kids. And it was a guy from Nicaragua. I'm not sure if Nicaragua. I think I'm saying it right? An illegal alien from Nicaragua. And it was these 4 kids in the month of August getting ready to go back to college. I never forget this story. They were sitting out in front, I guess it was like a local school that was in front of them. Google this. Google these words. 2007, Newark, New Jersey, schoolyard, Killing. You will find it, right? 4 black kids outside. and some illegal alien came and lined them up in the school, made them get down, and shot all of them. The one sister survived. And you know, when you look this up, if you choose to do that, I looked the sister up, and it's like every year she's posting her brother, and I seen the name in the stories. If you Google what I told you, 2007 schoolyard, Killing, Newark, New Jersey, illegal alien did it. Rodolfo, whatever his name was, he did it, right? I never forgot that story because I was younger then, and it shook me to the core. I couldn't imagine getting ready to go back to school, hanging out with my friends, playing music, just sitting in front of some random school, and then somebody lines us up and like unalives us, like, you know what I'm saying, like you cattle or something like that. That is crazy to me. But you listen, it's multiple situations like that. And the unfortunate thing about it is that some of us who watch these videos about like this crime, and you know, we even speak on it, it's like those situations may seem micro because they're not impacting you, but I look and it's like the girl in it who survived. I look at, you know, because I just look at stuff like that. I looked at her Facebook page. Her brother passed away. Every year she's posting photos of her brother TJ. You'll be able to go, if you research it, you'll see his name, his initials, TJ. I don't think maybe that's his middle initial, the J. But he passed away. His sister survived. 3 of the other people, you know, were unalive. And it's just, this was done by illegal aliens. And it's like, when is this country going to learn that, you know, we already have our own issues, and then you're allowing people to come over here, and then it's just like this mayor of the mayor, I'm sorry, is it the Ras Baraka? You're fighting for illegals. I don't understand how you're fighting for illegals. And it's like, you know, and I believe he has the same thing, you know, comparable to Brandon Johnson, where they are completely trying to avoid, you know, the laws to allow law enforcement to get these people up out of their cities. So listen, they said that they're going to be threatened with arrest. The next video I want to go into is Brandon Johnson in Chicago, and he's being completely defiant, saying how he's going to be standing up and fighting for the migrants and all of that too. So listen, let's get into that.
This question over here. Thank you. We're going to protect the residents and the people of the city of Chicago. As a welcoming city, as a sanctuary state, our welcoming city ordinance, alongside of the complementary law of the Illinois Trust Act, is full demonstration of our commitment to protect the residents of this city. Any notion that would use public spaces like churches and schools, these sanctities, these sanctuaries, as a way to create political divide is not only unconscionable, but it's reprehensible. And what we have done, we have given very clear instructions to our sister agencies in all of our city departments that they should and will and are expected to uphold our welcoming city ordinance. We are not going to interfere, but we're certainly not going to cooperate with that type of abhorrent behavior. Yes, ma'am.
What is your direct message to immigrants here in the city of Chicago during this time of very much uncertainty in terms of possible immigration or deportation?
Yeah. I'm going to speak to our immigrant population as well as the entire city of Chicago. The city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, we are a welcoming city and we are a sanctuary city. We are a sanctuary and welcoming state. That has not changed because of who won the election. And that's not going to change. What I can speak to in a far more broader way, that any of the measures that the president is looking to execute against working people in the city of Chicago, we will defend our city. It's just that simple. We will defend their rights to have a high quality public education. He is working to dismantle the Department of Education. We will defend our rights to protect our environment. He's a president who does not believe in environmental justice and climate change. We will defend our rights to continue to build more affordable homes. I will say this last thing. The president has the level of power that other administrations wish they had. The House of Representatives, the United States Senate, the judicial branch of government, if he's serious about making America a place where every single individual can have an opportunity, then he should use his authority to work with the city of Chicago to build more affordable homes. He has the ability to help invest in building more economic opportunities like you're experiencing right here on the west side of the city of Chicago. We are going to defend the interests of working people, and we're very proud to do that. Thank you all very much.
Listen, you know what I don't understand? A mayor, governor, you are public servants. And if you hear, like, you know, the tone of the people who are from Chicago, they are not happy. They're not happy with the current local government in the area. J.D. Pritzker, little stuffed potato ass. And then also Brandon Johnson. It's like if you're listening to the residents of Chicago and they say in Chicago, like they're going to eventually turn red. Like, yo, let me read this article to you, just to let you know how defiant that Brandon Johnson and Pritzker are. So it says Johnson, and this is an interview that he did with a local news station, WTTW News. It says Johnson brushes off threats of being arrested for failing to help Trump's mass deportation effort. So it says in an interview with WTTW News, Mayor Brandon Johnson said on Thursday that Mayor Brandon Johnson brushed off threats of federal officials jailing him for defending Chicago's law that will block police officers for carrying out mass deportations of undocumented immigrants ordered by President Donald Trump. So, acting U.S. Deputy Attorney General M.O. Bove set the record as the highest-ranking Department of Justice directed federal prosecutor across the nation on Wednesday to investigate and charge local officials who refuse to carry out the administration's mass deportation agenda. This is for the betterment of everybody. This is for the betterment of everybody. Like, yo, Chicago and Newark, they are so ignorant. I just don't get it. Like, y'all act like y'all don't recognize the crime. You don't recognize, like, the people's property taxes and everything, rising. While in the midst of that, you're taking money and dumping it into people who are illegal in this country who don't even have any right to be here. And you talking about getting some sort of some Immigration Act rights or some shit like that they were saying in New Jersey. So listen, let's check out this video from Chicago residents who are sounding off. None of this footage right here. I think this is maybe like a month or so old, but just check this out and see the tone of the people, how they feel towards Brandon Johnson giving all of this money and resources to the migrants. So let's just check this out.
You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in a $1 billion deficit, and you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. You campaign and double down that you would not raise property taxes.
I won't raise your property taxes.
You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this right here first. Please come here first. Spend our tax dollars to go. Michael Rodriguez, you said to take Trump to court to protect these illegals. That's cool because we about to make all of y'all aldermen famous. Y'all think this is how it's gonna ride? I think not. Flip Chicago red. We not playing.
This was going to happen to you. You got Cash Patel and Pam Bundy that you're going to have to deal with sooner than later. Then it's going to be an audit. Next, it's going to be an investigation. Then it's going to be an indictment. Conviction. That's what's going to happen to you.
Mr. Brandon Johnson, I'm up here. I am speaking right now. So I would love your undivided attention, please. I'll wait. So this just proves to you the lack of leadership that you show in this city. You can't even give me straight eye contact. Now, I'm going to let you know now, the people of Chicago, we're done with you. It is insane how we have been voting Democrat for over 60 plus years, and we've never seen a change from people like you, Lori Lightfoot, Robbie Manuel. It is insane. Chicago was 37% red. In 2020, it was only 15%. So we're waking up. So you can pretend that this isn't happening, but I know for a fact that you will not have that seat the next election.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens. I got a great way how we can what we can do with this budget. First, let's start with cutting off illegals, getting free everything. Free housing, free schooling, free food. Yeah, let's start with that. That'll save us a lot of money. What, $600 million? Let's start there. Then let's start with your salary. You are going down in history as the worst mayor in America. Let's start with cutting yours. You making too much money. Let's start there. You Democrats, and you remember you told us to defund the police? Remember, you ran on that. Remember, you was the defund the police? Let's start with that. Let's defund the police detail that you have. And let's put the police back in our neighborhood, because we're not for defunding the police. Won't you just practice what you preach? Remove all the details. We saw you coming in today. You had all the police presence. So let's take some of that away.
Do you understand the violence in Chicago, and he's trying to defund the police, and then people are in these areas with no type of assistance, or you know what I mean? Like, does that even make sense to you? And then he's showing up with all of the police detail, you know, because he probably got to feel like he got to be protected because there's so many people who don't like him in that city. It's just crazy. It's madness. And I really wish that, you know, it was a way that everything could just be like hit with an override. I feel like ICE is with the federal government. You know, I believe that they are under the federal government. So they're going to continue to come in and do their sweeps. I know that they mentioned when they was in New Jersey that, you know, they ended up picking up a U.S. citizen, and they was like they were military. They served in the military act. I don't think they were active, but that was a mistake. Mistakes do happen. I'm pretty sure that they apologized to him or whatever. But listen, clean these streets up and make things right in this country. Until you're one of these families who are subjected to the crime or someone being unalived in your family by one of these illegals who was running crazy. Like, listen, you heard the charges when they was up in Boston. People had, you know, multiple intimate assault charges. Somebody was even over here committing murder. That's crazy. And just in the streets in Boston, like in the area, that could be you walking down the street. And just because and see, I take it a little bit personal too, because right now I live in Houston, but in New York, if you see the number that they did, with the migrant surge in New York, when I went home to New York back in 2022 and me and my mom stayed in a hotel for a night, we stayed in a 4-star hotel on Wolf Road in Albany, New York. When we got there, something was definitely different about the area. I'm like, wow, what is going on here? All of these migrants filled up in the hotels. Listen, Trump, get this cleaned up, because Biden, he had our borders just for a free-for-all. Everybody just running in. I've never seen upstate New York look like that before. I've never seen it look like that. I really want y'all, I want to play this last video from this Latina talking about, I don't know who she was talking to, but this is Latina. She talking about, don't go to Mexican spots, don't drink margaritas, don't drink tequila, don't go to Puerto Rico, the spots Cancun and all of this different stuff, right? I want to talk about that, but I really want y'all, as it pertains to that whole New Jersey, if you know what I'm talking about, look up the 2007 Schoolyard Killing. See that story? I looked the girl up again, like I said, and it's like, I don't want to keep saying it because I know it's traumatic, but it's like, these cities have a history of crime from migrants, immigrants, illegal aliens, and you got the nerve to be defiant against the president's orders, the federal government as well. So it's like they gotta start getting these people up out of here. You see that Eric Adams from New York. He's even singing a whole different tune now, because I think he truly knows under it all that this need to get cleaned up. Clean New York up. He seemed like he's being, he's going with the program now, though. Because he wants to work with Trump. A lot of people were saying that Eric Adams, his tune switching up because he wanted to be pardoned. We'll see what happens with that. Let's check out this spicy Latina who's telling us not to go to Mexico. She ain't talking to me because I ain't never been to Mexico. So let's check this out.
If you hate immigrants and you're for the mass deportations, hate them all the way. Stay out of beautiful Mexico, stay out of the beautiful beaches, retire in your own country. I never want to see you go to another Mexican restaurant to order enchiladas, burritos, tacos, margaritas, none of that. You're not even allowed to have Taco Bell, even though that's a knockoff version of Mexican food. Never touch another bottle or shot of tequila in your life ever again. Don't go visit beautiful Mexico, stay out of Tulum, Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, all of those. Go visit Nebraska, go visit Kansas, stay out of beautiful Mexico, go visit the red states that you love so much. Clean your own house and mow your own lawn. Get in the field and start picking fruit. Go build the houses and I want to see you pop them up quick. No more listening to salsa, merengue, bachata, reggaeton, cumbias, none of that. Listen to your own music. You don't get to love the culture, but hate the people that created the culture. And if you're a Latino that hates immigrants and that is for the mass deportations, never in your life use that Latino card ever again, because you just use it when it benefits you. Call yourself a gringo. Act as white as you can. And let me know if they see you as one of them. Y viva Mexico, cabrón.
Get out of my country! Get out! I don't understand why y'all so mad at us for us, feeling a way about you being over here illegally. Get out. Y'all think y'all could just come over here and just set up shop? Black girl over in Mexico, y'all gave her so much hell that the U.S. Embassy had to move her to another private area because she was getting threats from Mexican people. Listen. I don't get it at all. Listen, this video has been long. I want your comments below. Let me know what you think about Trump having to get some straightening over there in Colombia, letting them know, listen, we are going to impose these, a spike in tariffs, 25% to 50%. We are going to sanction the visa so you can't fly over here no more. He said until that first flight touches down over there with the illegal aliens, then, everything is going to be on hold. So I want to see what happens with that. Also, let me know what you think about New Jersey and Chicago, how they, like they just not trying to, why do they act like they, I understand it. Listen, right? It's the thing that bothers me the most, and I think it agitates me the most, is that it's illegal aliens. That means that you've done something wrong from the jump. You're illegal. So why is it that we have to bow down and give you these resources, taking out the mouths of people, of the regular working class people over there, or the people who need assistance? Why? And then also, I heard Tariq Nasheed say this, and I can't listen. I agree with this wholeheartedly. People are talking about, and not even just black Americans, white Americans, they talking about, oh, so if the immigrants go, who's going to do the jobs, or, whatever. The thing about it is they get these immigrants over here to pay them the cheap labor. You know that black Americans and white Americans, we not working for no damn pennies on the dollar in no damn field, picking no damn fruit for no pennies on the dollar. You're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay. And listen, I think people will do those jobs if you pay them properly. But we not just going to work for pennies. And she talking about, the women in that video talking about, just don't have us clean your house. Don't listen. I clean my own house. I clean my own things like that. And you're reducing yourself to some damn maid. Like, I don't get it. Listen, let me wrap this up because I've been up here for a long time and I really want to get this out tonight. Potent Pondering. Get in the comments. I know I touched on a few things. Let me know what you think. Search that story about the New Jersey. The guy from Nicaragua, he did that to them young black kids, to them young black kids before they was going back to school. Unalived 3 of them. The one girl lived. And it's like, I wanted to reach out to her on Facebook and be like, damn, like, I never forget your story. I look it up often. Like, I don't even know this girl. I'm from upstate New York, but I never forgot that story. But it's just like, I don't want to disturb her peace. I don't know where she's at. And, she got a beautiful, young child. And I don't want to just do that. But it's like, I never forgot your story. And it connects to this as migrants have been, on the crime spell for years now. For years. That was in 2007. They've been doing this for years. We need to crack it down. And I know a lot of guys probably hoping for the next administration and hoping that it's Democratic. Let me tell you something. By the way that things are going and ICE is moving and people are seeing the results within these first few days of Trump being in office, I think that the next election is going to be, there's going to be a Republican in the White House again. People are already saying that they're looking at J.D. Vance to run after Trump if Trump doesn't get approved to run for a second consecutive term. So we'll see how that plays out. Potent Pondering. Subscribe to this channel. Thumbs up the video. I know that this was long, but the real ones will watch it to the end. Listen, support the channel. The Cash App is in the description, and I hope that y'all have a great evening. Peace.